Kia ora, this is the severe weather update for Thursday, the 23rd of February. Unfortunately, we have got some more heavy rainfall pushing back on towards the eastern coast of the North Island as we head in towards particularly Friday and Saturday. So there are some severe weather watches and warnings already in place. If we take a look at how things have evolved over the last few days, you can see this band of cloud running up at the North Island. Behind that, some cold air, some showers, but it's this area of unsettled weather we're going to keep a very close eye on as we head through the next few days. It continues to move northwards as we head through the rest of today. For Thursday, some showers in towards the likes of, say, Wairarapa and in towards Hawke's Bay and Gisborne. And then it stays very close by as we head through towards Friday. This area of low pressure develops on that, pushing that wet weather back on towards the eastern coast as we head in towards Friday. Some heavy falls to watch out for in those areas already impacted by Cyclone Gabrielle, and then slowly sinking southwards as we head on in towards Saturday. So you can see, if we look at the rainfall accumulation, where that rainfall really piles in. As we head through this afternoon for Thursday, we'll find some thunderstorms across Gisborne and up in towards the Coromandel, but we will find that wet weather pushing back on towards the eastern coast, especially as we head through Friday afternoon and through in towards Saturday. You can see those darker blues showing the rainfall totals there, 100 to 150 millimetres of rainfall not out of the question in many spots from, say, Hawke's Bay and Gisborne. So like I say, we have got plenty of severe weather watches and warnings in place. Let's start things off though for this afternoon. For Thursday afternoon, we have some severe thunderstorm watches in place for the likes of Gisborne and also up in towards those southern parts of the Coromandel, down towards the far western parts of the Bear Plenty, west of, say, Te Puke. We are going to find some thunderstorms as we go through the afternoon in towards the evening before they start to ease away. Could be as much as 25 to 40 millimetres of rainfall in an hour or so, because we're quite intense bursts with some of those thunderstorms. They're not for everyone, but I think we are going to find some thunderstorms developing through this afternoon and evening in those areas. But we are going to find this area in Hawke's Bay is one we're going to keep a very close eye on. This rainfall pushes across us as we head through Thursday, moves northwards. There's that rain. You can see it stays pretty close by. As we head in towards Friday, it pushes back in. Those darker blues showing a heavier rainfall before slowly sinking southwards as we head in towards Saturday. So we have got a severe weather warning for heavy rainfall in towards the likes of Hawke's Bay. And we could find some substantial amounts of rainfall as well. Could be as much as 150 to 200 millimetres of rainfall about the ranges, particularly north of Hastings. In fact, many spots north of Hastings could find those kind of values. 75 to 100 millimetres elsewhere. And I think we are going to find that heaviest rainfall as we head through Friday. Like I say, the rainfall really heaviest from, say, north of Hastings, so we could find those 150 to 200 millimetres of rainfall between now and through in towards that first part of Saturday. So we are going to find there's plenty of wet weather, especially for Friday afternoon. Could well cause things like rivers to rise, some floods and some more slips in those areas which are already vulnerable indeed. So do keep up to date with the latest forecast, but also the latest advice from the emergency services as well. It's not just the Hawke's Bay area though. We are going to find across that eastern coast there are some severe weather watches. We'll start off with the ones up in, say, the likes of Gisborne again as we head through this afternoon, so from 2 p.m. on Thursday, right the way through in towards those early hours on Saturday. May well find, again, some more thunderstorms, some periods of heavy rain that could approach those warning criteria. Again, those areas are already very vulnerable to some rainfall, so it's worth keeping an eye on those forecasts. Similarly, as we head through in towards, say, Friday, particularly so likes of the Coromandel down towards, again, those western parts of the Bear Plenty. Some spells of rain coming through, and embedded amongst that, some thunderstorms, and that's probably what's going to cause any issues tomorrow. Some really intense bursts of rainfall more than anything else, not just for the likes of, say, the Coromandel and those western parts of the Bear Plenty, but also crossing towards Auckland. Similar story, periods of rain with one or two heavier falls, and perhaps even the odd rumble of thunder to watch out for as well. So again, keep an eye on that. And as I say, as we head in towards the weekend, that rainfall moves away from the Hawke's Bay as we go through in towards Saturday afternoon, but does push in towards the Wairarapa. So we have a watch there as we head in towards Saturday from, say, 1 a.m. in the morning right the way through to the end of the day on Saturday for some heavy rainfall through the Wairarapa, including the Taurua district as well, as that rainfall may approach warning criteria as well. So we have unfortunately got more wet weather on that eastern coast, but by the time we head through towards Saturday, hopefully the worst clearing away from the likes of, say, Hawke's Bay. As always, don't forget you can find the latest forecasts and our information on these severe weather watches and warnings at metservice.com.